That's where am I? So that's Spring Hill Road, right? And that's Sherritsey Drive.
Okay.
And when I was a kid, all my family lived in that area, apart from my granny, who lived here. But my entire, everybody that was like aunts and uncles, everybody lived there.
But I really do like showing, obviously you've got the south of Aberdeen that's got affluence, and then the north is a lot more red. So it's have they built it that way? Have they built our city specifically that way to house poor people in the north and rich people in the south?
This used to be what it is, right? Is this used to be Aberdeen, right?
Aberdeen, an oil-rich city, but also a city with great wealth disparity. Aberdeen has one of the highest concentrations of millionaires anywhere outside of southern England. But there is also a huge divide in the distribution of wealth, and there are many areas in Aberdeen affected by poverty and currently struggling with the cost of living crisis. We are a group of filmmakers from areas of Aberdeen most affected by the current fuel poverty crisis. We have chosen to document the effects of the fuel crisis on ordinary people.
Very hard, obviously, at the moment. If you're on benefits, it's about half my money is going on energy bills. So, without the help here, I'd be really struggling. I don't know what I'd be doing. So, I'm pretty much here every day. Get soup, get some bread, get some veg and stuff, and it really helps out because it means I'm going to not have to worry. I'll definitely eat every day. So, coming to the community centre it's also good because I'm on the spectrum. I'm not very good. I get social anxiety and stuff, but coming here every day is a good thing as well because I see people and I have to interact, and it's not always going to be the same people. So it's something stressful, but it's beneficial for me to be seeing different folk every day. So that's about it really. Food and a bit of human contact, I suppose.
There are currently 26 food banks listed by Aberdeen City Council on their website. However, our research has found many more operating across the city, providing essential support to those in need. Now, as energy costs escalate alongside corporate profits, community initiatives are under more pressure than ever before to maintain the health and dignity of those they support. Scotland generated more electricity than it used last year thanks to renewable energy. However, the typical electric bill has doubled.
I've got their little food bank. They've got a food bank that's here as well.
We travelled to many different community spots throughout Aberdeen, and we kept on hearing the same stories over and over again from people who have to spend their money on fuel and sacrifice other needs. Heating and fuel should not be an option.
When I first came here, we didn't really have a food bank. And we probably had about 1,000, just over 1,000 service users. And when I did the Fair Aberdeen report for October, we're up to over 3,000 halfway through the year, and looks like we'll hit 6,000 service accesses by the end of financial year. Our target for food parcels this year was 1,000. We'd smash that by October. And it's not a target you want to beat. You want to be not giving out that many food parcels, obviously, because it's not a good thing.
We have the widest gap between impacts for the poorest and richest households. The proportion of household spending on energy required of the former is 3 times that of the latter. This leaves a lot of people with hardly any money once heating is paid. Due to this, there has been a significant increase in the use of food banks across the country. Food bank charity, the Trussell Trust, recorded their busiest period ever between April and September last year.
A few months ago last year, in fact, we were asked to help set up the warm space in Seaton, and to try and attract residents within the area who are in need to come and join us. We offered food 2 evenings a week and 2 lunchtimes a week, and we offered support in the form of just guidance on how to conserve your fuel, and we also decided to increase quite dramatically the range of produce that was offered within the pantry.
At Seaton Pantry, Seaton Stores, so we provide food from Seafine Monday and Wednesday. So we've got this gentleman that comes now and then, and we get to know each other at a personal level. And he was able to share while I was handing the food, and he said, "No, I can't take that." And he said, "Why?" And then he said, "Because I need to cook, and I don't have gas to do it, and all that stuff." And I thought, "Oh my God, how can we help you?" And he was a little bit shy, but later he opened up that he's struggling, he doesn't have any gas or electricity to do that. So we managed with my colleague, Mark, to have a chat with him, and we managed to find gas for him to keep him going, and some voucher for fuel, energy, whatever we want to do it, and he was very grateful. And I realized how important, and some people, how fragile they are, and the service can provide for them. You know, this energy bill has been, so for him it was not just even energy bill, and was struggling to eat. Even if we give food, he wouldn't be able to cook because he don't have energy to use it to cook the food. But we were able to do that, and he has been very grateful to do. And I'm always saying to myself, the Seaton Pantry, the Seaton Pantry is not just about people coming and take food. It's building relationship. It's people get to know each other. It's just using the service. It's more than that. And this gentleman proved that. So we are very grateful for that.
As we have been travelling across the city, speaking to many different people, the narrative has stayed the same. The cost of energy is so high that people have little to no money left for food.
So I'm finding with people in Telegraph, and you speak to these people, you see them searching about for just dog ends and so. The money's been stopped, and they're just going to got enough to live on. Because if the energy prices are going up, if I find with the money I get, okay, it's enough for me because I can get help for the family. And I've got an inheritance coming, so I don't worry about this. But I'm finding with these people, if they're running gas, especially at this time of the year, if they're running gas, especially in electric on top, it could cost them £50-40 a week. On money, but with a bin, that's what it could cost them £40-50 a week. With gas and electric, that's before they start getting the benefits. So once they're paying nearly £200 a month on their gas and electric. They've only got about £100-200 to keep them going for 4 weeks, and they have to buy food and stuff. But it is a problem.
And the fact that, you know, a first world country feels a need to have the right to food as an act of parliament is insane. You know, and that's not just the right to food as in you can go to a food bank or a food pantry or pick up free stuff. That's the right to food, and that everyone must have the right to be able to buy affordable, nutritious, healthy, culturally appropriate food of their choosing. Not handouts. Not handouts.
The cost of living crisis has affected individuals in different ways. Due to the rising cost of fuel bills and food, many individuals' mental health and well-being has been seriously affected. These community spaces are a lifeline to those across the city, bringing warmth to many who feel very lonely and isolated at this time.
The questions are quite strange, aren't they?
But the problem I have is, I've been in touch with Eon, the energy supplier, Marshall College, Aberdeen City Council, and the contractors for the gas meter. Now I've still got a meter in that house. It's still running up debt. Eon takes £10 a week off of me extra to pay off the debt, but that meter's still in my house. I just got to get it removed.
Yeah.
But then, like I said, I go around the circuit. If I speak to the contractors, gas qualified we call it, they come in, they say, oh, you have to get in touch with Aberdeen City Council. than Aberdeen City because their sins be eon than this. Basically going round in a circle.
So I know an awful lot of them who do either need more because they're on a very, very basic pension and they don't even get pension credit because there might be that £1 too much to be able to get pension credit. And I'm luckier than some. Talking about pension credit, you've got to just have a certain amount of money or below a certain figure to be able to get pension credit. If you get pension credit, that helps you pay your rent and stuff. If you don't get pension credit, then you've got to pay for everything yourself. So it's those who don't get pension credit or don't qualify for pension credit that start struggling. Some people can then maybe get a rent rebate if they're lucky, or maybe a council tax rebate if they're lucky, but not everybody gets that. It depends on how much money you've got coming in. Because some people might have another small pension that they're getting money from. So if you're over a certain figure, you don't qualify for a lot of things. If you get pension credit, you get free dental, free eyeglasses, whatever. So that helps you there, you get your rent paid and you get council tax. But if you're not, you've got to pay your full rent, your full council tax, dentists, because I know that I've been to dentist quite a few times lately and it's not cheap. So, you know, we've got to pay for everything ourselves if you don't get pension credit.
One of the probably most distressing episodes that we had was of a young mother who came in with her 3 children, ranging from probably about 13, 14 down to 7. It was clear that in the cold weather the children weren't properly clothed, the mother wasn't properly clothed, they were wearing shoes that didn't fit, they were clearly miserable and desperately hungry. In that situation we were able to approach partnership charities and they very quickly supplied us with vouchers that enabled the mother to get shoes and proper clothes for her children, and we made a special effort to get a decent shop for her so that she could feed the children, and persuaded her to keep in touch with us on a weekly basis, which she has. And things have improved. Not perfect, but they have improved.
Many charities have called for government at all levels across the UK to use their powers and take urgent action now to strengthen our social security system so it keeps up with the true cost of living.